Hey guys, welcome to News Dump.
The Tim Hortons.
Horton Hears a Poo is the funniest one I saw.
So obviously we have to start this week's episode with the news on how Deadpool 2 is doing at that box office, and although we write the show early on Friday, the Thursday night numbers should give us a pretty good indication as to how this movie's gonna fare overall this weekend. Having said that, you're watching this on a Saturday, so anything could have changed right now. Maybe someone will be kind enough to update you all in the comments.
Or just blatantly lie about it in the comments.
Yeah, tell lies.
On our Monday morning live show this week, we discussed whether or not Deadpool 2, which is a hard R superhero film, could even come close to potentially beating Solo, a Star Wars story, at the box office. I made the prediction that if it were to happen, it would take place on Thursday and Friday night screenings, and that Solo will probably still do better overall during its open weekend because it's got the weight of a 40-year franchise behind it and that PG-13 rating.
Take the kids.
I based this bet entirely on how the first Deadpool performed versus Rogue One, which is the only other non-episodic film to be released from Star Wars so far. Not scientific, but hey, betting is legal now, and movies are a sport.
That's right. On its opening weekend in December of 2016, Rogue One pulled in $155 million domestically, with the original Deadpool trailing slightly behind during its February release at $132 million. Not too bad for a film which at the time was unproven and relying entirely on Deadpool fandom and the desire to see a Marvel character say words like fuck a few dozen times while relentlessly killing his enemies. Obviously, we won't know about how Solo's doing until this time next week, but the Thursday night numbers are in for Deadpool 2. And it's pretty damn impressive. Domestically, the film brought in $18.6 million on Thursday night, beating its previous Thursday opening record and beating the It remake to officially become the biggest Thursday night opening for an R-rated movie ever. And it's tracking to beat the R-rated record for opening weekend that it set itself 2 years ago, with most analysts putting it around or slightly above $150 million.
Mm-hmm. What will be extremely detrimental to this movie in the long run is the fact that Solo comes out next week. Now, when the original Deadpool was released, it didn't have anything to fight against. Yeah, it was February. It soared to become an extremely successful movie, regardless of its rating. With Solo coming out next week, it'll be interesting to see if it can even beat itself in that regard. Personally, I see a huge uphill battle that might not work out. Now, having seen the movie, I saw it Thursday night. I was part of that 18 million. And I won't spoil anything here. I can say the movie's pretty damn good. I'm not quite sure it's better than the first, as a bunch of other people are indicating, but I had a lot of fun throughout the film, and once the third act kicked into gear, it really excelled. Seriously, if I'm being honest, the first 2/3 of the film just kind of feel like, hey, I'm watching Deadpool do Deadpool stuff. That's fine, and the jokes are okay, but they really nailed the finale of this movie and the moments leading up to it, creating one of my favorite fight scenes that I've seen in superhero movies for at least a few years. Wow. Yeah, it's a damn good third act. That's what I'll say.
So just show up late.
Yeah. No. Oh, I will say that there is no after credits. Just so you don't if you want to leave before.
Unless you want to give respect to all those VFX artists.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to Solo. Since this is an internet show based on entertainment news, let's talk about the latest from that movie. And well, apparently Lando Calrissian is confirmed to be pansexual for some reason.
Sure.
We haven't seen the film, so we're not really entirely sure if or even how this works into the film, but during a recent interview to promote the film, the co-writer, Jonathan Kasdan, and his father, Lawrence Kasdan, were asked about Lando's sexuality and confirmed that he's not gay, but he's not straight, or a furry. He's all of that, potentially.
Yeah, he could be a furry. We don't know.
Maybe
he's got the hots for Chewbacca. We don't know. We haven't seen the movie yet. Is there a Lando Chewbacca sex scene?
Yeah.
Anyone's guess at this point, guys.
Does Han Solo have nipples? We've seen Mario's nipples. What do Han's look like?
And can you milk them?
Yeah. Here's the quote from the interview with Huffington Post, where they asked directly about Lando being a pansexual. I would say yes. There's a fluidity to Donald and Billy D. Williams' portrayal of Lando's sexuality. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten a more explicitly LGBT character into this movie. I think it's time, certainly, for that, and I love the fluidity. Sort of the spectrum of sexuality that Donald appeals to and that droids are a part of. Wait, you can't just tack droids on there.
Yeah.
Who's fucking these droids?
Well, we all know about BB-8's cock because he shows it off in The Force Awakens.
Fire dick.
Yeah, that is not a middle finger. It is a raging hard-on.
R2-D2's been whipping his out for 40 years now.
Exactly. If you don't think R2-D2 is playing porn on that holograph thing that he has inside of him, you're wrong.
Yeah.
He gets off on it big time.
Well, sounds like the SJWs have taken over Star Wars.
And now it's only going to do $500 million billion.
Enough is enough.
We need Lando to be pansexual, damn it. Anyways, Donald Glover's portrayal of Lando has already been championed by the elite movie press, who have gotten access to see the movie, and to us it seems like the most interesting character because he's still sort of a mystery. So we and everyone else predicted that Star Wars would eventually go ahead and just give him his own movie with Donald Glover starring, and it looks like, hey, guess what? We were right.
Woo!
Because this industry is pretty damn predictable sometimes. Now, this was single confirmed during an interview with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, conducted by Premiere France during the lead up to the release of Solo, where she stated this: "We think that the next spin-off will be dedicated to Lando Calrissian. Of course, there are still many stories to tell about Han and Chewbacca, but Lando will be next." How many stories do we have to fucking hear about Han and Chewbacca? Is there really that much more?
No.
I guess how this movie does will dictate how many more stories we can tolerate. But we are not Star Wars fanboys, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that you're all very excited.
I mean, look, I like that Lando's pansexual. That makes sense. If you're globetrotting around the galaxy and
You
cool
should fuck
ship
whatever you
with
want.
your cape,
Yeah.
I'm Lando Calrissian. I'll stick my dick in anything.
It's the Mass Effect method.
Colt 45.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, if I was in the Star Wars universe and just globe-trotting around, or universe-trotting around, I'd fuck an alien.
Yeah. Oh, everyone loves it when Captain Kirk bangs some green chick, but God forbid Lando Calrissian likes a dude.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. Get over it. But hey, let's talk gaming news for all you gamers out there. Beep bop boop, because Call of Duty Black Ops 4 had its big reveal this week, and there's a bit to unpack here. First off, the assumptions about a lot of the aspects of this latest addition to the Call of Duty franchise were correct. There is no traditional single player mode, and yes, there is a Battle Royale mode. Outside of that, there's going to be 3 separate zombies maps for those of you who are into that sort of thing. And the basic multiplayer mode has been transformed into something that resembles character-based shooters like Overwatch or Rainbow Six Siege. Basically, your team will consist of healers, tanks, sharpshooters, running gunners, and more, with a focus on tactical combat and teamwork.
Not sure if this will pan out exactly as they plan, considering I can already foresee that most COD fanboys will be ditching the idea of teamwork and just selecting whichever character they think will get the highest KD ratio.
Yep.
But you know what? It's something different, and I guess at this point you should build a team, because it's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah.
There's going to be a character that is basically Hanzo or Genji in Call of Duty, and people are going to troll by just picking that character. The big standout here is that they made a very specific point that this game will be boots on the ground. So none of that jetpack, wall riding, walking shit that a lot of the people out there hated from the previous Call of Duty titles.
And the way they decided that was based on crowd reaction. They're like, rocket packs?
They had a cue ready to go with yes or no, and the crowd was like, boo!
Okay, yeah, they're not in the
No.
game. Yeah, they said, whoa.
Yeah. We got you guys, don't worry.
Delete all that.
Get the dev team on the go. Anyways, we didn't get to see too much about their Battle Royale mode outside of the fact that it will include vehicles and that the map will consist of parts of other maps and characters made famous throughout the history of Black Ops. Cool. We'll dive deeper into this on next week's episode of Tugs, but since this is an entertainment show and Call of Duty is a gigantic entertainment property, we had to briefly touch on those new announcements. So you're welcome, gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to YouTube news.
Oh, goody.
Those of you who still have YouTube Red or picked it up to check out the critically acclaimed Cobra Kai will have to fork over even more cash in the near future, as the company has rebranded its product and bundled it up with a price increase.
If there's something that Google loves more than anything in the entire world, it is rebranding a product that does not need rebranding.
Yeah.
Or changing it slightly so that it's the same product, but with a different name.
Google has a long history.
Google Plus.
Refusing to just let something be.
Google Plus, Google Wave, YouTube Red, YouTube Premium, Aloe,
Yeah.
Vera, or whatever the other one was.
They
Aloe Vera.
They often, even weirder is they'll often have two
Exactly the same product.
competing apps that do the same thing from different departments for years.
They also just changed Newsstand to Google News.
Google,
just calm down. How many? It feels like it's such a fucking mess over at Google HQ with no synergy at all, and just different teams working on different things that all at any point in time, and they're like, okay, this team tennis finished first. It's now called...
All right, now you guys are going to build drones for the Department of Defense.
What?
Wait!
Well, I can't wait to see how many name changes that goes through. People didn't like the automatic kill machine. Let's change it to something fun. Like, yeah, whatever.
Anyways, according to a report on Slash Film, Google is breaking up its premium YouTube Red service into two offerings. A YouTube music streaming service, available either for free with ads or for $9.99 per month, and a YouTube Premium for original video content, costing $11.99 per month. Also, Google Music is still a thing.
Yeah, it just muddies the waters even more.
So apparently if you're already a subscriber to YouTube Red in its current form, the price you've been paying and the features you've been enjoying will remain the same, which is good news. Thank God.
Woo.
Still, this has us a bit worried because YouTube Red helps this show out and many other people's shows.
Yeah.
And it would certainly help out our new channel when we launch it very soon.
Yes.
But with the price increase, we're not sure how many new subscribers it's going to gain, especially considering it has other options like YouTube TV. And still, for some reason, it won't allow people to pay to subscribe to single channels, except for live streaming gaming channels. That would be huge for us, but nah. Anyways, our Patreon is launching soon alongside our new channel, Internet Today.
Yes.
Both of those will be up by the end of the month, we promise.
Yes. Starting a business is hard.
It's coming, guys.
We, bless our hearts, had no idea how hard it would be to start a business.
This whole process is turning me Republican. There's too many damn regulations.
We had to
Too much red tape and paperwork.
We had to put it, listen how archaic this is. We had to put an ad in a newspaper declaring the name of our company to have it accepted by the state of California so that we could do it.
Yeah.
How archaic and stupid is that?
Very stupid.
Anyways, if you're a subscriber of the Mountain View Times, is that what it was?
Something like that.
Enjoy. We'll get into more of the details of our shift to becoming independent very soon, but it's a big deal for us and we're going to rely heavily, entirely, on all of you to make it work, so we hope that you're along for the ride. Stay tuned. More info coming very soon. It's actually happening now. But let's talk about trailers, starting with a little teaser for a movie that we knew was happening but hadn't heard much about because it's still a ways off. John Wick 3.
Ooh!
This past Thursday, a small moving image was released by the official John Wick account that announced the third chapter in this action movie franchise and that it'll hit theaters officially May 17th, 2019. Again,
That's a year away.
Yeah, not too much to unpack there outside of the confirmed release date, but we all know about John Wick, and there's no way we're going to be too surprised about what the movie will entail when it drops.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw John Wick 2, it kind of ends with a lot of things unresolved. So,
hey, guess what? It's going to be a movie where Keanu Reeves does a bunch of cinematic fight scenes that are all really pretty good.
yeah, and an evil criminal organization, they take over the local animal shelter, they hold all the dogs hostage.
Kill them all.
Only John Wick can save the dogs and find them new forever homes.
Yes. It's going to be a good, heartwarming film.
Next up is the trailer for Sorry to Bother You, which looks like it'll be a hilarious film about a man from Oakland who discovers the secret to professional success using his white voice, which is provided by David Cross. This looks absolutely bonkers. It has an incredible cast that includes people like Lakeith Stanfield, Get Out, Tessa Thompson, Armie Hammer, Patton Oswalt, Stephen Yen, Terry Crews, and Danny Glover.
Danny Glover?
The other Glover.
He's his dad, right?
No.
That joke's not old.
God. It already has an impressive 92% on Rotten Tomatoes based on festival screenings, so we're pretty excited to check this one out when it hits theaters July 6th.
Yeah. If you get seizures from flashing lights or strobes, maybe don't watch the trailer.
Too late.
It starts with that. Anyways, now we have a trailer for a movie that we had no prior knowledge of, but shows incredible promise as it follows in the footsteps of cult films that we love, like Meet the Feebles, where lovable puppets go dark and raunchy. It's called The Happytime Murders, and yup, it's an R-rated crime comedy with Muppets.
I remember hearing about this a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just puppets, but there's an obvious connection to the fun-loving, family-friendly Muppets because the person behind this movie is Jim Henson's son, Brian Henson. The film stars Melissa McCarthy, Maya Rudolph, Joel McHale, and Elizabeth Banks, and here's the concept. No sesame, all street. The Happytime Murders is a filthy comedy set in the seedy underbelly of Los Angeles where puppets and humans coexist. Two clashing detectives with a shared secret, one human and one puppet, are forced to work together again to solve the brutal murders of the former cast of a beloved classic puppet television show.
So this is Bright with puppets.
Obviously, this is going to be much better than the Netflix movie with a similar concept, Bright. They were definitely punching hats when they saw Bright come out, but they're like, oh, it's not that good. Cool.
Yeah.
Ours will be fine. Anyways, this will be a good movie to smoke 50 bowls and go see when it hits theaters August 17th. And if you haven't seen Meet the Feebles, you really don't call yourself a Peter Jackson fan if you haven't seen Meet the Feebles.
Yeah, not a real Jackson head.
Yeah.
So you see that, and what was that horror movie he made? The Frighteners?
Oh, Frighteners is great. Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
The height of his career.
Great practical
Not Back to the
effects.
Future. Not Spin City. The Frighteners.
I personally think the height of his career was guest starring on Curb Your Enthusiasm
Yeah.
and lying to Larry David about his Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Anyway, follow us on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm twitch.tv/ElliotETC.
Twitch.tv/it's Ricky for the win.
And
Also,
we are for now twitch.tv/ETC_show.
that change will be happening really soon.
Yeah.
Also on Twitch this weekend, they're doing an SNL marathon.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good too. Very
Hell
funny.
yeah.
I watched a bunch of sketches and it's a lot of new stuff too. And we're like, hey, these are all pretty good because they're cutting the best stuff.
Oh, they
out
are.
of the
That's
seasons.
smart. That's smart. Cause
Yeah.
a lot of
There was a great one with Larry David where he's like a manager and his client is like a gay superstar or something like that, and he literally cannot hold it together the entire time. And watching Larry David break and chuckle is
weird.
so heartwarming. I had no idea how badly I wanted it. I'll have to send you the actual sketch. It's not on the
I
stream
don't think
anymore,
I saw
but-
that.
Anyways, in the meantime, watch 2 new episodes. One is Weekly Weird News, and we had a fucking blast.
Change the name of the show to Weekly Poop News.
Yeah, it's a great episode. Don't sleep on it.
Yeah.
And then also watch a brand new episode of Tech News Day, where tech is still depressing. We're hoping that someday it'll lighten up a bit, but for now, watch that, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.